Welcome to Monster Hunter Wilds, what everyone is calling Monster Hunter World 2, the brand new Monster Hunter game made of course by Capcom, giving us all the pleasure of being the apex predator. Have I been excited for Wilds? My first Monster Hunter game was Ultimate 3 on the 3DS. Yeah, I experienced that. But I'll be honest, I could not get past the tutorial. I was a stupid 10-year-old who couldn't read. I played Rise, and that is when I fell in love with Monster Hunter. But Wilds is the next big step. Same formula as always. Eat some good food. Man, Monster Hunter food just, it looks so good. Hunt big monster with oversized weapon, rest, and repeat. Everyone tries to reinvent the formula with video games, but Monster Hunter's just, nah bro, we know what we are here for. To skin that giant beast alive. Pretty much just with better graphics. Same old, same old. Now, first things first is the story mode, where is everyone's going to begin.
Here, Hunter.
Now, it's not the most gut-wrenching God of War Metal Gear story, but it gets the job done. It gets you invested and interested. But in the most simple terms, big monster cause problem, go kill it.
Your reputation precedes you, Hunter. I trust you know what I've called you here to discuss.
Why does he sound like he's given a kid crippling parental trauma?
Now imagine our surprise to have discovered this boy.
One issue, and it's all my fault with this. When I was creating my custom character, I had two goals in mind. And, well, they did not go as well as I planned. As you hear in his voice, and I was hearing the grunts, I was like, oh man, it would be really funny if he sounded like Link. But I didn't realize how well Capcom did this. The main character speaks in every single part of the game, no matter what voice you set for them. And the crazy attention to detail, all I hear is my character talk. And I now understand why they don't have Link talk in any Zelda games. My god, it gets annoying after 5 seconds. Second, I wanted my character to look like a character from a recent show I was watching. And let's just say we have Trevor Belmont at home. But the detail and what you're capable of making, it's such a niche thing, but I love when games add the goofiest character creators. Now, Capcom didn't go as insane as Street Fighter 6 and allow us to, well,
all right, let's see. Oh, wow, champ, you're quite a...
Hey, I've seen some freaks of nature, but I've also seen some really good designs. I think the Monster Hunter fanbase wants to actually make characters look good and attractive. And my little Balico buddy, oh, he's so cute. Champ's my fluffy little murder machine. My boy. We shall conquer all of these creatures and send them to the cold, unloving hands of death. Meow. We also get protection over this kid, Nada, whose family got taken by a giant monster.
Leave me!
Be strong!
Man, come on, man. You could have all fit through this hole. It was big enough.
It's a person!
Our first section teaches us how to ride the secret. Boy, I'm not gonna lie, I miss my pupper, but the weird lizard does the job, and it did grow on me during the game. This little section teaches how to ride the secret and aim our arm sling, being able to easily take items from the overworld and do some extra damage and special things like make rocks fall. But helping this girl find her brother as well, they don't have massive weapons built to destroy giant creatures. The standard weapons that have been across Monster Hunter. I love how most of these are played. The bow guns, like the long range weapon, giant charge weapons like hammers and sword, special weapons like the switch axe and insect glaive. I love how spinny the insect glaive is. And my personal favorite, the hunting horn. Oh, nah, he gotta go for that. But finally, what I'm here for, the hunt. Using the hammer at first really gave me joy, being able to bonk and bonk and bonk, charging my weapon to just the right moment for all the damage. Now, the formula for hunting monsters is standards. They start off normal, and once you do enough damage, they get aggressive. They start hitting back. Then they run away. Favorite part is when they run away, because the monster is like, I gotta get out of here, and then stops, thinking it outran me, and just turns around just to see me with a massive grin on my face. A lot of body parts, and I mean a lot of body parts. Once they are down, steal the organs and leave their corpse. Or well, you can always capture them. But what's the fun in that? I love the fact that this game makes you actually have to look at the monsters. You got no idea how close you are, and you see all those bruises and seeing them slowly limp away. Huh, don't run now. That's how you tell how close you are to killing this thing.
Hey, you made it.
And of course, wouldn't be Monster Hunter without a base of operations, blacksmith, support, training, and more. This is where your character will interact most of the time. Alma, your quest leader, basically your forever companion. If you think about it though, when you're almost dying to the most lethal, dangerous, bloodthirsty monsters, she's just watching eating popcorn. But I'll say, this is way better than the world's companion, and actually makes me feel like I'm on a journey with a group. The blacksmith, Gemma. Yeah, they knew what they were doing with Alma and Gemma. Of course, there are some other characters like Olivia, but those two are the main ones. Now, Alma gives quests, but also the optional ones, and we'll set up some online ones. Gemma is our local blacksmith, and the only way of upgrading and leveling up in this game. Now, you want XP? Nah, get your fashion up. The harder the monster, the better the drip. More drip equals more damage. It's just how this game works. Each monster you hunt will have its own armor, and some will have different weapons. Now, you'll find the ones for the weapons that you like. Now, some, like the hunting horn, change a lot with every upgrade, where you actually get different buffs and different abilities, or just bigger damage and status effects for things like the hammer. You also have things like poison, dragon, water, fire, and there's a bit of a Pokemon flowchart here where monsters take more damage to certain statuses. Or you could literally just use guns, straight up guns, that just become better guns through upgrading. Now, the big thing that this game does that no other Monster Hunter does is that you can have two weapons equipped at the same time, allowing me to put my other weapon that I want it to use, the hunting horn. I'm about to put the mustard on the beat, being able to mix beats and setting up echo bubbles just to put a massive symphony of bludgeoning pain, and playing music to get better stats. It's so much fun, but it is kind of strategy. You can switch between weapons in the middle of a hunt. You used to only be able to have one weapon per hunt. New thing is the focus hits. Monster Hunter for a long time has had damage to the monster, but there's never been anything other than some items that fall off in game. We get focus attacks, massive heavy damage attacks you get from hitting a bruised spot accurately for massive damage or setups. I love how this story sets it up. You hunt all these monsters and get gear upgraded before you get to the bigger online group hunts, and it gives a fun, engaging single-player story. The first chapter only takes place in the desert and forest, and each chapter always has some small fights in between. Put the meat down, it's not that serious. We try to learn more about Nada's people from the local village who, well, are not so hospitable due to their preparations for this giant sandstorm that is coming, but we kind of realize that they might be in threat of giant doshagumas. Now first we have to understand the doshagumas and do some research in the forest area with all the new monsters.
Look, another one. Color hasn't faded. We must be near its nest.
Area. He saw a shiny object and got trapped, bro. Idiot. Imagine playing Monster Hunter with arachnophobia. You would never sleep.
Off on the wrong.
Bro, my stuff. These little whatever they are, taking my stuff. You lucky, you cute. All right, go kill the monkey from my camp back. The Woodwoods are like a primitive version of my Palico. They're mad goofy and mad stupid. Like, come on, bro. Do not hit the you idiot! Oh, that's what I'm up against. And it's headed right for the village. Great. We earn the respect from the person who would not let us into the village from defending them against the massive Doshagma. The Alpha. This fight was more of a spectacle. Seeing the light effects and lightning strike him, then the Balahara gaining on him. It was always so funny when monsters fight each other. It's like, just sit back and watch the magic.
Michael! Don't leave me here! Michael! Michael!
Then look into the forest as we are trying to find the right Wraith. That's kind of concerning. After a few hunts and a lot of buffs, the final fight of the chapter, the Dona. I don't think I'm supposed to be fighting this thing yet. Monster Hunter, why? But what this game does so great, it's the progressive buildup of more mechanics and fights. At first, like, these hunts don't have any real gimmicks just because they're like, we know you're trying to figure out the game. I'm not gonna lie, the Dona did kind of wreck me. But once I understand it, it's a lot easier. And that's the other thing with Monster Hunter. This story mode is teaching you how to fight these monsters. Right? You gotta learn how to hunt them, learn their patterns, learn their moves.
What is that thing?
That's it. Oh, I was still hoping that I imagined the whole thing.
Story is very bare bones. The amount of details in these scenes and fights, and they follow the most simple storytelling, but it just works. You can see Nada's hatred toward the White Wraith. Simple goals: find Nada's people, kill the White Wraith. Now, one thing that I'm gonna be a little nitpicky about: why is Nada like, do you know about the Keepers? Bro, they're your people.
It's okay.
Why wouldn't you know? But maybe I'm just being nitpicky. You move to chapter 2. Into the next area, a fire oil area. We also unlocked some new rarity stuff, even getting to rarity 4 gear, which is the lower end. We're not in high gear yet. With the slow progression of the game, we unlock some armor upgrades to make the lower level armor a lot better. And there's so many things in Monster Hunter. It's good that it slowly introduces you, because there is a lot of menus, submenus, and submenus on top of submenus. Like, the hardest thing about this game, it's just understanding all these systems and mechanics. What do these buffs mean? What does this upgrade mean? What is this? What is that? I don't understand. And the first beast is literally a poison oil creature that is constantly spraying its load. One thing I did realize was I don't have any way to cut monsters. I've been using hammer and hunting horn, both bludgeoning weapons. And I do switch after this fight, of course, because I wanted something to cut tails off, because you get extra rewards if you cut tails off and do different damage. So I thought that would be important to have both, which is why I switched the hammer to greatsword. And dear God, why does it do so much damage? I get it, it's slow, but 106 per hit? It's a bit wild. When I'm fighting the lightning dragon, Ray Dua, and the fire monkey, I was in shock with how much damage I was doing. I also like how I'm starting to get to the flashy monsters. Yeah, the other ones before had things, but they're so simple. Starting at Uthaduna, I had to think differently. Like, I'm watching as these elemental beasts summon forces of nature or just become a blazing Harambe and one-top me in a blaze of ape glory. One of my favorite fights, Ray Dua, almost getting killed by Arkveld, has an anime reawakening, then looks at us with the anger and intent to devastate whatever he saw, then proceeds to actually be the storm that is approaching, provoking the black clouds in isolation. Now, the whole goal of this chapter was to fix the Everforge, so people could have their festival.
Is that supposed to happen?
Stoke it more!
Now, this douche...
Sorry, who are you again?
Alright, buddy, go kill yourself. And sends us on a goose chase to this frozen area that seemingly has these spires that power everything, almost finding Nata's home, and of course, fighting monsters in the process.
Death greets me with a new mask, or are you my salvation? So, what shall it be? Should I leave it to fate?
No! We're gonna save you!
I'm not going to try to understand this Shakespearean gerbil. But with all said and done, we can return to the forge. And we'll try the festival again, and...
No!
Bro doesn't even seem remorseful, and it's his fault. And everything goes wrong. Air monkeys ravage it, and then it goes even worse. The final hunt of the chapter, the apex predator of this area, the Black Flame, a so-called legend that turns out to be a flaming oil squid. Lucky me, my hunting horn has fire resistance. And so many points to break and cut off. This fight is one of my favorites in the game, but I do not like the armor set for my Palico. No! I like the variety that this kind of hunt gives. And finally, we get closer to finding Nada's people. And well, almost easily, well, no, we do easily find it. There are some challenges. Old creatures we have fought before with new abilities, they almost seem corrupted, spreading wilk and causing them to, well, heal. More parts for me. We actually make it to Nada's people, and they're actually alive. And I would have thought they would have all been dead.
Nada.
Dahid.
But of course, can't have an immediate happy ending. Ah, the poster boy for Monster Hunter. You know how long I've been waiting for this? I'm about to make a name for myself here today. Now, this Rathalos is not a normal Rathalos. This is what's called a Guardian Rathalos. These Guardians are these white, spreaded creatures corrupted by this substance called wilt, which is powering Wyveria. Kind of gives a new take as it puts these wilt spires out that if a creature has elemental power, you have to watch out for because it can cause massive damage, but really it just kind of gives you more damage.
Considering how handy they are with Welk, it does stand to reason.
Is that what you name it out there? Here we call it wyvern milk.
There is no way I'm calling it wyvern milk. But finally, the White Wraith in our graphs. And it runs. Learning it's an artificial monster with weird organs. But also that it was based off an extinct species named Arkveld. I'm going to get my run back with that thing. Some more fun expeditions. Thinking I could block a nuke. Bro, I got a great sword. I can just guard this. And having to find this new group of people to learn more about the history of Nada's people and the White Wraith. Who, I mean, I guess they were somewhat helpful, but they didn't really tell me anything I didn't already know. The only thing these people are useful for is Poogie. After a few more hunts with some guardian creatures, we get back with Arkveld. Nada has this whole thing about letting it live, as you know, it finally found its way of life after being trapped in a prisoner, which is what he feels like his people are. Trapped by the sins of their ancestors, not able to move on. Like, do you not see what the Arkveld is doing? It is doing nothing but murdering. Everything in its path gets killed. I think it has to go. Now, the White Wraith is a really good hunt. With his giant tendrils, draconian after effects, me a joy. But it was kind of like tricky because you had to watch out. There's no safe spots with these giant chains. Like every other creature in this game. And it doesn't stand a chance against the most persistent hunter. I'm glad at least Nada is not annoying about us killing the thing. Like, he's not like, no, why did you do that? He's just like, damn. Tough. Now, they do pull the old, but wait, you thought the boss we've been propping up as the true final boss, the big bad new monster with the final fight? Man, look at you, so gullible. The true final fight is with Zoshia. What really gets me is that everyone was arguing how to handle to like destroy the Zoshia, the ultimate weapon of Wyveria, destroying the artificial energy that powers the whole West. And we could destroy that energy and take out the Zoshia by taking away its powers, or I could kill it. And then the other people are like, no, but we have to research it. We need to let it live, or I could kill it. And then they're arguing about like the consequences of destroying part of Wyveria, which powers the downfalls, which powers the basin. The reason why this continent is the way that it is. Oh, here's an option. Crazy thought. Let me kill it. Did anyone think of that? Ada says he'll destroy the energy source with the pendant given by his dad in an act of sacrifice. But like, okay, hear me out. This is a monster, a creature monster. I kill monsters. Let me just bonk, 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 bonk. Problem solved. They make this heartfelt moment where he's about to use his pendant to destroy the energy source. And the hunter walks up and stops him, showing how brave the hunter is, that he's going to go kill the monster. And also how Nada looks up to the hunter as he's been watching and protecting him. But like, I knew I was going to kill the monster. So all this back and forth, should we not, just for my character to do what I knew it was going to do, took away from the moment. It's not as impactful. It's just kind of like, oh, really? I'm doing the thing I meant to do? But Zoshia, the final boss, a wilt-covered dragon who is hard to create wounds for, but slowly and slowly it represents the past of Wyveria, going from a white angel-looking dragon, a protector whose main requirement is defense, to a black dragon with fire breath and high damaging attacks, created as the defender of Wyveria, but through this fight showing how it became its destroyer. Damn! This was fun. With the lightning, fire, taking its tail off, the screams, the area of effects. Disappointing that this is the only time you can fight it. But it's definitely a setup to a bigger reveal. But still, this is the biggest spectacle, the build up to the Guardian, the setup of Arkfield, just for this creature to come bait and switch and make you fight this thing to have no armor, no weapons. I'm disappointed there's no armor set. Like, imagine an armor set that's super high in defense, but once it's worn down, you get less defense for more damage buff. And it changes like the dragon. I think that would be so cool.
Hello, audiences. Sorry this sounds a little bit different, but in fact, they actually did reveal the Zoshia armor as I was editing this, so...
But that's it. You finish the final hunt. Everyone is happy. And that is Monster Hunter Wilds. Really thought that was it? Nah, see, good job. You basically finished the tutorial. Story mode is the basics. You know how the armor works, maybe know how the stats work. I'm not gonna lie, I still don't. You fought a majority of the monsters, so you have knowledge for how they work and how to hunt them. There is still so much left. Typically, you'll end up at around 100 rank 10 or 11. Well, guess what? You got 80 more of them. Get to work. You can begin the real game now. See, every monster is 5 times harder. You got tempered monsters that are 10 times harder, and frenzy monsters. I don't really know what they do. I just think they have rabies. There's also like 8 to 10 more monsters that you haven't hunted yet. A lot of returning monsters from older games like Gore Magala or Fulgor Anjanov. Hopefully I'm saying those right. And then next week, once this video updates, there'll be another monster to fight, and more to come in the summer. And again, there is way more. So many side quests and side hunts. App opens up for more surveys where you just explore, find a creature you've never seen before and go, I'm gonna kill that thing. There even is a bit of story left in the game. Well, not a lot, but it finishes off everybody's story and connections very well. Monster Hunter Wilds is an incredible game, and I'm glad it's making Monster Hunter a lot more popular, having the Elden Ring effect, a popular game series that stuck to what it was good at, and it's gotten a lot more attention, but it's just due to the detail. You see in the monsters, the details in the fights, with when you block, or even with all the other weapons. Everything is so unique. Each monster moves differently. You can see how you break them apart. Each monster has that differently as well. And then also like the detail in things like armor. Like they're all in cutscenes. Whatever armor set you're wearing, you're going to see it in cutscenes. Not going to lie, some of the armor can be a bit creepy and like catch you off guard in the cutscenes. But it makes you want to replay. I want to fight Arkveld again and again, start blocking his arms and set up a perfect hunting horn bundle to slowly deplete his health away. Of course, some hunts are going to be better than others, but it doesn't get boring. You can always try a new weapon, try a new monster, take one that's tempered, take one that's frenzied, because sometimes the tempered ones, they have new moves. Like, you know, in the story mode, typically when you finished a hunt, you got almost everything for an full armor set. In a high rank, you can hunt this monster 10 times for one item. Come on, I just want the full new Udra set. Give it to me. And with the new increased difficulty of high rank and new moves, the same monsters feel fresh. You'll never feel bored. So much detail and care. It's a bit insane. This is the same company that made MVCI. Sorry, damn. I just can't. But there's so much to do that I could spend ages talking about it. All the new hunts I had, all the cool moments. But I'm going to end it here and...
Happy hunting!